Oh, hi there, Jeff. This is not Ram.
And I'm Jeff Suarez Grant.
This is Get with the Program.
Yeah, here we talk about a question we have about online course design. As we help faculty build their courses, we have our own questions. Hey, Nat, what's our big question for this episode?
Should I use a course template?
What do you mean by course template?
A course template is a collection of different items in a Canvas course or LMS. It can include a homepage. For example, you enter the course and there's an image there ready to be replaced with a customized image. There's a title that you can adjust. There's a welcome message that you can change. There's a list of things to do that you can customize for a course, and then links to the module sections or other parts of the course as well. And then when you go to that module section, there's a help and support module, there's a course orientation module, and they have FAQ discussion, links to specific resources, links to help, and also meet and greet discussions, a link for the syllabus, a link for a place to learn more about the instructor as well. And then there's also another module in there, perhaps with templates for individual items, like a template for overview pages that includes a purpose for the week, maybe the skills students would learn that week, and a schedule. And then assignments, maybe there's a purpose for the assignment as well, as a heading, skills as a heading, and a criteria of success and tasks that students have to accomplish there, and space for us to fill in with our own course materials there. So that's something I'm thinking about as a course template. It's not purely aesthetic. It's not purely decorative. It's something that affects teaching.
I mean, it sounds pretty helpful,
Yeah, I have a question though. How do I use it?
right? So, again, it's like a course shell in the learning management
Hmm.
system in Canvas, Moodle, whatever. But it has some stuff inside it already. Maybe stuff that you didn't build, right? Stuff that's like pre-designed, pre-built. So the first thing I think is to look to see what type of template it is. There are some specific course templates for online, hybrid, face-to-face. Also look to see if there's instructions on how to use it. Usually
Hmm.
instructional designers, they put like instructor guidance or suggestions for, why a particular template exists, how to use it, what needs to be customized. You can also find out how to, implement the template and really why you should.
Why bother though? I already have my course built out and I see some italicized text there. I would have to delete that text and add my own text, add my own image, and then kind of change what I already have into this template.
Hmm.
Uh, And individual items too, assignments and discussions and quizzes have their own templates. Why bother?
I mean, what the italicized text usually is that's like the instructional designer, the developer of the template, kind of speaking to you as the instructor, letting you know why that section is there or the purpose of that template. Um, a lot of times, these templates, like you mentioned, they have ready to use student resources. That way you don't have to go and find all this information about student affairs or student support services. That all that stuff is compiled for you already. So that's a huge relief to not have to create that stuff or find it. The other thing, though, too, is that usually these course templates are designed with quality assurance, online quality assurance best practices in mind. And so if you're interested in participating in like a peer review, Quality Matters, Colt, or whatever, trying to get your course certified, if you use that template, you're going to have a much easier time passing that peer review.
Isn't this just putting me in a box? It's kind of like cookie cutter course design. You're just telling me what to do. I see like on campus, if you go on campus, you're in a classroom and there's some standard set there. Maybe everybody knows where to go in case of an emergency or to use a bathroom. They know where the library is, but this is online. We have more possibilities. We don't need to be constrained
Mm.
by templates and rigid ways of thinking. And isn't some of this information in the syllabus anyway?
It's interesting you brought up the syllabus because uh, a lot of colleges, some universities actually have like a syllabus template that is really designed to help you not miss out including something that's like required, right? A disability statement, an academic integrity statement. So you may already be using a syllabus template. And again, it's really just designed to help speed up the process of creating that document. But then that's interesting you brought up like the physical classroom experience that, all kind of classrooms are, set up the same way, a lot of them at least, unless they're an active learning classroom. Like there's a front of the room, everyone's facing the same direction. There's pretty consistent student experience there. So if a student goes into one classroom and then the next, like it's not like they have to reorient themselves. You can think of your course design in the same way, bringing it a little bit closer to something that's online and like how people navigate websites. Think about newspaper websites, for instance. They're all structured kind of in the same way. And the point there is that you don't waste any time orienting yourself to how you navigate it. The New York Times and the Washington Post are structured the same way. So you don't have to learn how to navigate it. You can just get down to reading. The same way with your course template, students can just get down to doing the work of the course, right? Getting to know each other.
I understand, but I don't really want to spoon feed my students. They're adults, they can figure it out, can't they?
I mean, that's interesting because I think about like the cognitive load that's involved in like trying to figure out like where things are, how to get started. Like that's a lot of energy, cognitive load that's being expended on just trying to figure out how to navigate the course. Like, no, you want students worrying about their assignments and getting down to work, spending their energy, understanding the challenging topics that you're talking about in class. That's what you want them, focused on.
Yeah, but my course is distinct and I have my own design strategy and my own way of teaching. And I've taught before, and I've had so many great students go on to great things. And I don't see like they could see my course within Canvas and other faculty's courses. I don't see why my course has to be just the same as the other courses.
I can see that point, but I wonder, do you really want the way students navigate, the way that you structure your course to be the thing that's unique? Or do you want your facilitation, your teaching approach, the assignments, the activities you give, the subject matter, like let that be unique. But like this overarching structure that kind of houses that unique approach, that should be somewhat standardized across courses. Another thing to think about too is students are not just taking your one course, they're taking others. And so when they go into Canvas, they see three different courses on their dashboard and they go from one to the other. It's like they literally have to like recall like, oh wait, that's right, this faculty does it completely different than
Mm.
this other one. And so wait, where's my assignment? Like that's a could be a problematic experience for students who are just, trying to do the assignment you're trying to give them.
Okay, I'm starting to see how that makes sense because I don't want one faculty to be running their course through the file section
Mm.
or the assignment section and or just using announcements, and I'm using modules and Zoom sessions and Canvas calendar items as well. So I can see that it's good if we're on the same page there for at least some things for sure. Um, However, how do I know what other faculty are doing anyway?
Mm.
And I don't have that much time to remake my course to be like other faculty's course. I have other things to do.
Oh, that's interesting. So I think when you start to use a course template, there's definitely going to be like an initial investment of time. You're going to have to, frankly, orient yourself to how it's structured. You're going to have to figure out how your approach, the way you've been doing it, how it can be kind of reconciled with this other template, this other approach. But then once you figure that out, you don't need to reinvent the wheel each time you go to teach the course, right? You can
Mhm.
simply modify the template to your liking to kind of, customize it to your approach. And then every semester subsequently, you're really just focused on maintaining the course, right? Updating materials,
Mm.
making small tweaks here and there. Um, and like we really do encourage folks to customize the template before they really start to build the course. So if there's some part of it that you don't like, go ahead and hide that, keep it unpublished for now,
So
We
wait, I don't need to stick to the same thing.
I mean, I think there's some things that are negotiable, right? There's some things that I will always hold firm on. Do not get rid of the course orientation module. That's a deal breaker. You have to have that in there. Um, don't get rid of the support module, because that has all the student support resources. Like, why would you get rid of that? But maybe you dislike the way that the discussion board instructions are written, right? There's usually like a discussion template. That's fine. Rewrite them. Create your own template based on the template that's been provided to you, and then use that as you build the rest of your course.
All right, I think I'm ready. How do I get started with templates?
You were never against course templates, were you?
Oh no, you found me out. I've actually helped with some of these templates to create them.
I mean, going back to that point earlier about like how do you know what other faculty are doing? Like in some ways, like the template and the instructional designers who create them, we help you do that because we are constantly
Mm.
exposed to other courses, and we take interesting, compelling designs and we integrate them into course templates, and we update them and we make changes. So in some ways, the course template is a way for you to get increased visibility into how other instructors, design and develop their courses.
Yeah, it's pretty hard sometimes to communicate with faculty about course design, and this is kind of a back way to do so. Um, Pretty cool. Say I already have content. What do I do then?
Yeah, so I mean, if you have like a robust course already with assignments, files, materials, activities, that can still work, right? That's kind of what I was describing earlier, where you like reconcile these two courses. Go ahead and you can import your previous course content into the template. Go ahead and make use of the homepage, the support module, the orientation. You know, then go and double check your assignments and activities to see if there's some interesting way that the template items for quiz, discussion, and assignment, there's an interesting way that they provide the guidance and instructions to students, and double check your assignment against those to see if there's something that you're missing.
That's good. So you can work with the template, import the content, and edit your content, or copy and paste your content into the new template, or vice versa. So that's great. What about if I'm starting from scratch?
I mean, I think before you start building, go and
Mm.
look at the template items. Look at so say for instance, you have to build a discussion template. Or I'm sorry,
Mm.
you have to create a discussion for your course, right? Go look at the
Mm.
discussion template, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, you can go ahead and customize, edit, configure the template itself in the course template, right? Change it to your liking, and then use that as kind of like your new template. So when you go to create a new discussion, you would go ahead and make a copy of that template that you've already
Mm.
customized, and that way your preferences are carried forward in each subsequent discussion that you need to create.
So you basically create your own template from the template.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a great compromise. Use some of the pre-existing structure, some of the predefined uh, instructions, sections of the assignment instructions, but again, make use or get rid of the things that you don't feel are useful. I would say just one suggestion is before you delete something or get rid of it, make sure you like really thoroughly understand why it's there to begin with. And if
Hmm.
if you're unsure, then go talk to the folks who developed the template. There's
Hmm.
probably a pedagogical reason for why that thing is there.
I think one thing is the purpose statement and the skills. Could you let me know a little bit more about why that's there?
Yeah, so that has to do with the tilt framework, which we've talked a little bit about in previous episodes from Marion Winklemas from, I think she's at Brandeis now, but she was at UNLV when she kind of created some of this work, transparency in
Hmm.
learning and teaching framework. And the purpose statement kind of comes from that. And that's something where like I wouldn't recommend getting rid of that. Like you have to convince students, you have to establish buy-in for why you're giving assignments. That way students take it seriously and understand what skills they're going to practice by way of that assignment.
Yeah, I think it's useful. You can change it to something like a why statement or a short story you have for each course to set it up or each week to set it up. Um, I'm I'm say I've been teaching online for many years, right? Teaching online, I'm used to the process. What's the benefit of checking in on a new course template? Say there's a new version that came out. What's the benefit of importing a new course template into my existing course that maybe used a template previously?
Oh yeah, that's a good point because um, yeah, you might have used one of the original templates. It's always good to go and check to see if there's an updated one. Mostly because student services and support info changes, especially like with the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic right now. There's new
Sure.
support for loaner laptops.
Mm-hmm.
The CSU, all incoming freshmen and transfer students are being provided an iPad. Like that
Mm-hmm.
is information that your support resources area of your old template probably doesn't mention, and that's something that
Mm-hmm.
needs to get updated. There's also kind of some new approaches to, for instance, like netiquette. That's kind of an antiquated term now. Like we prefer the term community agreement instead. So by staying up to date on new course templates, you can kind of be exposed to new and innovative online course design practices. So, not the big question was, should I use a course template? What do you think?
Yes, I think it's a great idea. You should use one. I think a course template is great because it saves you time, makes for a consistent student experience, as students can navigate your course and other courses and feel that they're in the same camp on the same campus in a way. Course templates provide useful information to students as they need it. It's right there and prominent in the course. If they're using a mobile device, it may be easier for them to access that information. And it can show you some new things you haven't thought of before. So I highly recommend using a template.
I'm glad we convinced you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Jeff Suarez Grant,
I'm not Jairam.
and this was Get With the Program.